Hi, Michaela. Thanks for sending us in your question here. On this piece of paper, I have that you have 4 questions on there. I'm going to try to answer them all in one video here. All right. So the first one you sent in was this, and they asked for the second derivative. So the first thing we're going to do is find the first derivative, which is derivative of cosecant is negative cosecant, and the angle stays the same. So negative cosecant cotangent. Okay, so that's just a formula you got to memorize. And then, but the thing is, there's a function within the function. So there's 3 theta here. So we have to use the chain rule. So we times that by 3. Okay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to rewrite this guy. I'm going to leave myself some room. Negative 3 cosecant 3 theta cotangent 3 theta. Okay, so now I got to take the second derivative. Okay, so I'm going to leave the negative 3 out front. I'm going to kind of quantize these two guys together. So this is going to be like, because I have to do the product rule on this one. This is your F and this is your G. Okay, so we're going to do the product rule. I'm just going to leave the negative 3 out front. Okay, so the derivative of this right here is, again, negative cosecant 3 theta cotangent 3 theta. But then again, we have to do the chain rule, so times 3. Okay, so that's the first guy. That's F prime times G. G is just cotangent. Cotangent of 3 theta. Okay. All right, and then we're gonna go plus. I'm gonna put the plus down here. Plus, and then the derivative of this guy is negative cosecant squared of, oops, and there's a 3 here, 3 theta. So negative cosecant squared of 3 theta. Okay, and then we do the chain rule, so times 3. All right, and then that times F, which is just the cosecant of 3 theta. All right, so if we clean this up a little bit, what we'll get is, let's see here, this 9 is going to, let's see here, this will distribute into, that negative 3 is going to distribute into here and here. So we'll have, let's see here, 9 cosecant of 3 theta, and then cotangent squared of 3 theta. Okay, and then this guy we're going to distribute that negative 3 into here too, so we'll also get plus 9, because there's a negative times a negative, and 3 times 3 is 9, and then that'll be cosecant cubed of 3 theta. Alrighty, so there is our answer for that one. Okay, let's go on to number 2. Here they want the equation of the tangent line through this point here. So we're going to find the derivative first to find our slope. So the derivative of tangent is secant squared theta. Okay, so to find the slope though, we plug in the x value, which is pi over 4, in for theta. So we plug in, this is really 1 over cosine squared, so I'm going to go ahead and change that right now. 1 over cosine squared of pi over 4. Okay, now cosine of pi over 4 is root 2 over 2. So hopefully we know that from our unit circle, and that's squared. Okay, so that ends up equaling to 1 over 2/4, which is equal to 2. Okay, so now we have our slope. So this here is our slope, and we have a point up here. So we use point slope form to find the equation of the tangent line. So it's y minus 1 equals 2 times x minus pi over 4. Okay. So then we distribute the 2, and then we'll add the 1 over. So we get 2x plus 1 minus pi over 2. Alrighty, so there is our answer for the second one. That's the tangent line of this function here going through this point right here. Okay, number 3. Okay, now this one's actually it looks like it's a lot, but it's actually fairly simple. I've written down the equation for the derivative here. And hopefully you've memorized this by now. If you haven't, I would highly suggest to memorize this. This is the definition of a derivative. Now, it's pretty obvious to tell that. See how you have an 8 plus h, and you have x plus h here. So that means they plugged in 8 for x. So x equals 8. Okay, and then see how it's the cube root of, so that means they plugged in 8 plus h into this function. So that means f of x is the cube root of x. Because f of 8 plus h would now become, if you plugged in 8 plus h into the cube root function, it would be cube root of 8 plus h, which is right here. Okay. And then you can also verify that if x is 8, f of 8, if I plugged in 8 here, cube root of 8 is 2, which is right there. Okay. All right, so then they're asking for the derivative, because this is what the limit as h approaches 0 is here. It's f prime of 8, right? So that's what they're asking for. So this whole thing right here is basically asking what's f prime of 8. All right, so we have f of x here, so we're going to find the derivative. Now the first thing we probably want to do is rewrite it, actually. So let's write, instead of cube root, we'll write 1 to the 1/3 here. Okay, it's much easier to derive when it's an exponent. So it'll be 1/3 x to the negative 1/3, which is really 1 over 3 cube root of x. Okay, so if we want to find f prime of 8, because that's what they're asking for, this is actually 2/3 here, not 3. So, because you have to subtract 1 from the exponent using the power rule. Okay, so then this is squared there. Okay. So now we have 1 over 3, and then the cube root of 8 squared. Okay, and then 3, the cube root of 8 is 2, squared is 4, times 3 is 12. So there is our answer. All right, and then our last one here, number 4. So this one, they gave us a function f sub t equals 4 cosine t, and they refer to the jerk. Okay, the jerk is not a person who's mean. The jerk is actually the third derivative. Okay. Which is kind of strange why they call it that. But yeah, the jerk is the third derivative. So we're going to find the third derivative, and then we're going to plug in, they're asking for essentially s triple prime of pi over 3. So that's what we're going to find. Okay, so we just got to find all the derivatives. So the first derivative is negative 4 sine t, because the derivative of cosine is negative sine. Second derivative is negative 4 cosine t. And then the jerk, or the third derivative, is 4 sine of t. Okay, so then if we want to find s triple prime of pi over 3, we simply plug in pi over 3. The sine of pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. Okay, it's from our unit circle. Hopefully we know that. And then we get 2 square root 3. So there is our answer for number 4. All right, thanks so much for using SnapMath, and we look forward to answering more of your questions in the future.